Eric Muathe at Muathe.com with another look at IPOs. And here's an example here of a stock that has been trading, let's call it for the last couple of weeks, maybe about 2 weeks or so. And we can see that it had a nice run here from about 25 all the way to the highs here of about just under 34 or slightly above 34. That's a huge percentage gain. So the question is, for an IPO, since you don't have data enough to give you fully formed charts, what do you do? And as we always do, what you do is you go to the time frame that has fully developed indicators. In this particular case, you can see that on the hourly, we had fully developed RSI and MACD indicators by the time the stock is breaking out of this range here. So you can see there was a nice sideways action here, and finally there was an explosive move right there at about just under 25. That corresponds very nicely with the RSI jumping to all-time highs for the first time ever, which is a sign of momentum. You see that at that particular instant also one of the MACDs, if not both of the MACDs. So let's show this here again just to keep everything. Here we have price breakout, we got RSI breakout to all-time highs. Let's take a look at the MACDs. Got two MACDs here. You can see the MACDs also jump to all-time highs. In fact, both MACDs jump to all-time highs, and one of the MACDs, which is the default MACD, jumps above zero for the first time ever. That was good enough to launch this explosive run. So if you're looking for a short-term spike in a stock, especially for an IPO, go to the time frame that has fully developed indicators, and that's where you want to trade. So here was a chance, based on simple strategy that we look at, for an entry into this stock. Take a look at a recent winner from the IPO. It is LN, and again we see that it moved above this range here, the slight price breakout, and this corresponds nicely with the RSI breaking out to all-time highs. And here we can see this was good enough to move the stock from about 37.50 to the highs of about 48. And again, just to make sure that we are not missing anything here in terms of the minimum requirements, and we are talking about this period here where the price jumped above this range. So that price breakout corresponded with the RSI jumping to all-time highs, RSI on the hourly moving above 50 for the first time ever. Let's take a look at the MACDs. We see that one of the MACDs was just approaching all-time highs, but the main MACD confirmed strength by breaking out to all-time highs. So you got the minimum requirements, MACDs at new highs, RSIs at new highs, price clearing recent highs, and bam, good enough to launch this nice explosive move. So it's the same thing over and over. For those of you who trade IPOs, if you are looking for the most powerful momentum thrust, it's gonna come more so when the RSIs and the MACDs jump to all-time highs. And in fact, we can see another breakout. This breakout here was actually also successful. So let's investigate that quality of that breakout. You got price breaking out here for a good swing trade. You're talking about a move in a couple of days from about 42 to the highs here of 48. That's a good move in about a week. And so we can see that it missed the minimum requirement because number one, here we see the RSI jumping above 69.1. Okay, it's one of the minimum requirements. And let's take a look at when that was taking place. We're talking about this time period here. And we see that that corresponds very nicely because the RSI, the MACDs, excuse me, the MACDs jumped to all-time highs on both MACD settings, the smaller setting and the default setting. So we see that that met the minimum requirement, and again the RSI right there was moving above 69.1. That is one of the requirements. And of course we see that the stock responded as an IPO with limited history, nice breakout, having seen the minimum requirements met. Price had a nice surge. Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. As always, good luck, peace and blessings. I am out. Yeah. Mwah. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. You don't know what it's like when you record and realize it wasn't working. It really sucks. It really sucks. Let it be known.